Vince Zampella is a name that every gamer knows, even if they don't realize it. The man behind some of the biggest shooters in history, from Call of Duty to Apex Legends, now helms the Battlefield franchise. And he has a story that's as wild as the games he creates. In a recent interview with GQ, Zampella made a statement that turned heads. The only reason Call of Duty exists is because EA were dicks. That's right. One of the most iconic gaming franchises in the world owes its existence, according to him, to a toxic breakup with Electronic Arts. But how did we get here? How did a dispute with a publisher lead to the creation of one of gaming's most enduring series? To understand, we have to go back to the early 2000s, when Zampella was a lead designer at EA, working on Medal of Honor: Allied Assault, a game that would set the stage for his legendary career. Back in the early 2000s, Medal of Honor: Allied Assault was a breakthrough hit, blending cinematic storytelling with intense World War II combat. Vince Zampella was at the heart of it, shaping gameplay that felt both thrilling and authentic. But success came with friction. EA, the game's publisher, clashed with Zampella over creative decisions, and tensions escalated. Frustrated by the lack of control and recognition, he made a bold move. He left EA. That decision would change gaming history. Alongside Jason West, he co-founded Infinity Ward, a studio built on the idea of creative freedom. Little did anyone know, the fallout from this dispute would eventually give birth to a franchise that would redefine the first-person shooter genre: Call of Duty. Zampella's anger, frustration, and desire to break free from corporate restrictions fueled the creation of a game series that would dominate the industry for decades. Infinity Ward's journey with Call of Duty was nothing short of revolutionary. In 2003, the studio released the first modern entry in the franchise, redefining what players expected from shooters. Activision gave them creative control, and the results spoke for themselves. Yet as the studio flourished, tensions with the publisher rose. In 2009, Zampella and West were abruptly fired for alleged insubordination, despite having turned Call of Duty into a billion-dollar franchise. It was a shocking move that shook the gaming world. But for Zampella, this was just another chapter in his story of resilience. Instead of backing down, he and West co-founded Respawn Entertainment, a studio that would continue to push boundaries and deliver massive hits, proving that talent and vision could survive even the toughest industry battles. Respawn Entertainment became Zampella's new playground, and this time he had backing from none other than Electronic Arts. After years of frustration with EA, it might seem ironic that the same company would acquire his new studio, but the industry is full of twists. At Respawn, Zampella was given the reins to the Battlefield franchise, a series with its own legacy and massive fan base. With creative freedom and lessons learned from past battles, he approached Battlefield 6 with bold ideas. Despite most of the team having never worked on a Battlefield game before, the launch shattered records. On Steam alone, the title drew over 747,000 concurrent players on its first weekend, the largest launch in the franchise's history. It was a testament to Zampella's leadership, vision, and the way he turns adversity into opportunity. What's fascinating about Zampella's career is how conflict and frustration fueled some of gaming's biggest successes. His comment about EA being dicks wasn't just a throwaway line. It reflected years of creative struggle and corporate tension that ultimately pushed him to take risks. The rivalry, the disagreements, and the feeling of being stifled became the spark for innovation. Without that friction, Call of Duty as we know it might never have existed. And now, with Battlefield 6, Zampella has shown that he can reinvent an established franchise while respecting its roots. Fans are raving about the game, praising its gameplay, scale, and attention to detail. This story reminds us that behind every iconic game, there's a human story filled with ambition, setbacks, and a relentless drive to create something extraordinary. Zampella's journey is also a lesson in resilience and adaptability. After leaving EA and surviving the turbulence at Infinity Ward, he could have settled for smaller projects. Instead, he used each setback as fuel. Respawn Entertainment wasn't just another studio. It was his chance to prove that vision and talent could triumph over corporate obstacles. And with Battlefield 6, that vision is clearer than ever. The game's record-breaking launch, despite a team mostly new to the franchise, shows that Zampella knows how to balance innovation with fan expectations. It's a rare talent to honor a legacy while injecting fresh energy. Gamers worldwide are witnessing the payoff of his decades-long journey, proving that sometimes frustration with the system can create something legendary. What makes Zampella's story so compelling is how personal experiences shaped entire gaming franchises. His battles with publishers, creative restrictions, and corporate politics didn't just influence his career. They directly shaped the games millions of people love today. Call of Duty thrived because Zampella refused to compromise, and Battlefield 6 succeeds because he knows how to turn adversity into opportunity. Gamers now experience worlds built from lessons learned over decades, from early successes with Medal of Honor to navigating industry politics at Infinity Ward and Respawn. It's a rare combination of talent, resilience, and stubbornness, a reminder that behind every legendary game, there's a story of struggle, conflict, and ultimately, triumph. Today, Vince Zampella stands as one of the most influential figures in gaming. From the early days at Medal of Honor to shaping Call of Duty, and now leading Battlefield 6 to record-breaking success, his journey is a testament to creativity, resilience, and determination. He's proof that setbacks, disputes, and even corporate roadblocks can become the fuel for innovation. Gamers everywhere owe part of their favorite experiences to his vision, and the industry has been forever changed by his influence. As he continues to innovate, one thing is clear: without Zampella's drive, and yes, even the conflicts with EA that he calls out, some of the biggest gaming legends might never have existed. Vince Zampella's story is a reminder that behind every blockbuster game, there's a human story filled with ambition, setbacks, and stubborn determination. From the early days of Medal of Honor to co-founding Infinity Ward, surviving corporate battles, and now leading Battlefield 6 to unprecedented success, he has shown that resilience and vision can turn obstacles into opportunities. Gamers worldwide may never fully grasp the personal struggles that shape the franchises they love, but Zampella's journey proves that frustration, conflict, and even spite can sometimes spark the greatest creativity. As he continues to innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible in gaming, one thing is certain: the industry owes a lot to his daring, his talent, and his refusal to accept limits. Whether it was challenging EA, revolutionizing Call of Duty, or delivering record-breaking launches with Battlefield 6, Vince Zampella's legacy will inspire game developers and players alike for generations to come.